Hello everyone, today I will be discussing my top 10 favorite coasters and discussing my least favorite element on each one. Before we begin, I'd like to mention that I've only had the chance to experience 40 coasters so far, so that means some of your favorites like El Toro and Iron Gwazi will not be included on this list. Nonetheless, let's jump right into the video. In 10th place we have Mystic Timbers. It's an incredibly enjoyable ride with excellent airtime, from floater to even ejector airtime moments when it's operating at its best. However, there's one element that stands out, and unfortunately it's not in a positive way. The element is the first hill. The first hill isn't all that impressive. Based on my ride experiences, you'd be considered fortunate to even get a bit of floater airtime on it. Coming in at number 9 is Raven at Holiday World. In my view, there are no dead moments on this ride, which makes it a challenge to pick out the least favorite element. Nonetheless, I settled on the first hill, even though it's technically also a turn. This section offers some decent laterals that set the stage for the rest of the ride's intense lateral moments, but doesn't offer much in terms of airtime. Taking the 8th spot is Legend. This coaster has some underrated airtime moments, including positive ejector that adds to the excitement. It's also known for being the king of laterals. However, there's one element that falls short, the turnaround. While the remainder of the ride maintains a decent level of smoothness, the turnaround stands out for its roughness and lack of force. Despite these drawbacks, one positive aspect is the excellent views it offers of Splashing Safari. At number 7 we have Millennium Force. The initial and final segments of this ride packs a powerful punch, with the first drop, first overbank, bunny hill, and last overbank delivering varying degree of forces. However, the middle portion of the ride features several elements that lack intensity. Among these, second overbank stands out as the most forceless in my opinion. Unlike the first overbank, it fails to provide any notable forces and comes across as rather purposeless. Taking the 6th spot is Orion. This coaster stands out as one of the most underrated coasters I've ever experienced. It delivers forces from nearly all of its elements, including both positive and negative Gs. Contrary to the belief that it's too short, the ride duration is actually quite satisfying. However, there's a single element that I believe could have been improved: the wave turn. Unlike some other wave turns on different coasters, this one lacks any notable forces, and seems to serve little purpose beyond its visual feature. In the 5th position we have Diamondback. This coaster hits a sweet spot in terms of duration, not excessively long nor disappointingly short. It boasts remarkable moments of 4, 5, and even 6 seconds of floater airtime, which is truly exhilarating. The ride concludes with a fantastic splashdown, adding both visual appeal and excitement to the experience. However, there's one element that falls short: the turnaround. This section lacks significant forces and, based on my ride experiences, can result in uncomfortable stapling if you don't keep your restraint raised, which is something I strongly dislike. Now moving forward, I wanted to emphasize that in my opinion, there are no dead moments on any of my top 4 coasters. This implies that for these rides, the element I'll mention are simply ones that might not be as good as the others. Moving on to number 4 we have Thunderhead. Interestingly, Thunderhead's ranking would have been significantly lower, perhaps even missing this list if we were talking about riding it in the back. However, in my view, the front provides a far more superior experience, with better ejector airtime and overall better forces. That being said, there's a particular segment of the ride that doesn't quite match up to the excellence of others: the station flyby. While this part adds an element of fun to the ride and serves as a great opportunity for off-ride footage, and can even cause the entire station to shake as it passes, it's essentially a stretch of straight track that lacks any force. Nevertheless, it's an enjoyable element providing some entertainment value. Moving into the 3rd position is Steel Vengeance. Undoubtedly, this ride is a masterpiece brimming with intense ejector airtime moments, so much so that it holds the world record for the most airtime. However, it can be a tad frustrating when this becomes a sole force, overshadowing other forces like positive Gs or lateral movements. Additionally, the relentless airtime can also take a toll on your legs, which is why my least favorite part of the ride is the final airtime moment. By that point, my legs are already aching from the numerous previous airtime moments. I found myself wanting a change in forces, particularly positive Gs. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely adore airtime, but I believe Steel Vengeance would benefit from incorporating more diversity in its layout. Moving on to the second spot is Lightning Rod. This coaster largely embraces negative G forces, but surprises with some underrated positive Gs during its turnaround. The launch also deserves special mention for being surprisingly punchy. For the most part, the ride maintains an exceptional smoothness. However, there's a notable drawback. A pothole situated in between the first and second wave turn. This pothole tends to be quite rough and in certain cases, even painful. Despite this rough patch, Lightning Rod's overall experience remains quite impressive. Finally, securing the number 1 position is Voyage at Holiday World. Voyage stands out for delivering a wide range of forces, including negative Gs and laterals, contributing an exceptional ride experience overall. The negative G forces encompasses everything from flutter to even moments of ejector. Despite being an incredible ride, there are a few drawbacks to note. After the third airtime hill, there's a sustained pothole. While it might not be as severe as the one on Lightning Rod, it's way more longer. Furthermore, some other sections of the ride can be reasonably rough as well. Remarkably, these issues didn't bother me from riding it 10 times in a row. It's an elite ride that deserves a spot in my number 1, and that concludes our video. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel, and I am looking forward to seeing you all in the next one.